Hey everybody, my name is Dovillier, and I'm over here with three amazing individuals for an amazing cause. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask y'all to go ahead and introduce yourselves.
We're gonna start from that side.
All right. My name is Ron. Ron.
What else?
Ron, I I represent Bigger Than Fit. Along with me and my wife, we founded a fitness company called Bigger Than Fit, but it has evolved to more than just fitness, and it's become where we use our platform to do good in our communities. So a community is really good part of what we do and what we're about. So Bigger Than Fit, and I'm Ron.
And I'm Jay Faith, and same, exactly what he said. We want to nurture a community to pour into not only themselves, but to pour into the community and those that can utilize whatever is needed or resources at the time.
My name is Elia. I own Level Up Boxing and Fitness, which is where we're at today. We also have a nonprofit. It's Level Up Community Outreach, which is just a big umbrella for absolutely everything that we do for the community. We do a lot of events throughout the year, and basically everything we do is kind of nonprofit. So yeah, man, we're excited to be here today. Thank you, Dorby. He's the mastermind behind today's project. Over here doing painting with a twist. It's painting with a purpose, actually.
Yes.
And we're actually raising funds, so that's exactly what we're going to get into now. Talk about that.
Awesome. Yeah, so we're raising funds, and we're raising funds for his house.
Yes, sir.
So can y'all explain to us what his house is and what they do?
Certainly.
Absolutely. His house is a 501c3. It is a children's home, and it is actually has been around for 35 years. It started in 1989 by a couple, and the children that come through the doors of his house come from very severely neglected, abused circumstances, whether it be trafficking. There's a lot of unique circumstances. For whatever reason, those children cannot live safely at home with their parents at the time. So his house's goal is to bring healing, hope, care for them, speak life into them, but also give them resources such as helping them be individually independent once they age out, and also, perhaps depending on the circumstances, reunite them with family or put them in the best situation possible. And his house stems from his house. All glory and honor to God, and connecting those kids to their purpose.
Yeah.
And letting them know that their circumstance does not dictate their future and does not mean that they lack purpose. It is a really powerful place of hope and healing.
Yeah. So actually, Jay goes out there every single week. She's out there several times a week with the kids doing fitness. She's just not just fitness, but just being a mentor to them, being an outlet for them. I went out there as well. I went out there with some of our coaches, and then we did some boxing for them. It turned into something way more and bigger than we thought, but it was an incredible experience. And just to see them just being so happy, it's such a reminder and education for everybody around us. Like, as much as fitness is physical, it's mental. It's mental. It's spiritual. It's something that it develops us in so many more ways than we ever even understood growing up.
Yeah.
I never understood that growing up, that's for sure. So when I finally did, and now that's all we want to do, we want to give that back. So again, I love that it's named his house, because that actually it falls in line with who we are as people.
Yeah.
I know our foundation and our faith and where we stand, and I boldly proclaim Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. And I know that you guys do as well. So as a gym, as a whole entity, as a nonprofit, as everything that we do, it's an honor to be here today, man. So I'm so grateful for you guys. And Dorby, thank you, man.
Sure.
Thank you.
And it's a beautiful thing because y'all mentioned about how his house brings these children to their purpose, and y'all are using your purpose to essentially give into it and give your energy into it. How does that make you feel on the inside? What does that give you?
Yeah. I mean, I say it often, but what we do actually serves us in return, probably more than what we think we're helping them. We're actually, in essence, helping ourselves. Because especially in the time we're living now, everyone's very anxiety, depression, suicide. Everything is more upright, of course, ever since the pandemic. But a way I always tell people is to get out of your own self. Look around your community. Look around your radius of who is in need.
Get involved.
And get involved, and that'll take your eyes off of you, whatever you're going through, and then just gives you a purpose. You know what I mean? So we all struggle sometimes. So knowing that what I did, the little thing what we think is little, it's actually in essence it's big because it's helping us and it's also impacting our environment. So, what bigger impact in our lives, right, growing up, is our home. So we forget that sometimes. And you might have been grown up in a what we call a good home, parents are together, or a single parent home, but you still end up as you grow up having issues, difficulties. Now think of these kids who may not even know any of their parents, who have been traumatized through stuff that some of us couldn't even fathom that they've gone through. I consider myself, my parents married over, still together this so many years, but I still struggled when I went off on my own in the world. I struggled with finding my identity, finding my purpose. So it's just after growing and having so many life lessons, pouring back into these kids so they could know that they have a purpose also.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. And like you say, a lot of things is community.
Yeah.
And we're in the South Florida community, and it's awesome that you're giving back because these children are the next generation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what are some things that his house does and that y'all partake about in order to get these children ready to be, great parts of the community?
I love that. I love that you say that because absolutely, in addition to fitness programs to make sure they learn to honor their body, they also give them independent living skills. They'll have people come in, teach them how to cook simple meals, but not just like any meals that nourish your body.
Yeah, I was trying to sign up. They told me I couldn't.
And it's so cool. So they also do therapies. And they create opportunities for them to have family. Like I've been in their homes, and on their walls are like family. Like it says family. It'll say Bible verses. It is so warm. Their kitchen, like just the way that they set it up.
Make it
It's
home.
home.
Because
like,
that is
that
home
is
for
their
them.
home,
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were so in terms of Christmas, they're so intentional, his house development team and those that are there for them, to make sure that they get the tree, they get the presents under when they wake up.
No, and not even just that. You were telling me that they were like custom with their gifts. Like it wasn't just a toy drive. They got to know each kid to be able to give them a present, a gift that was specifically meant for them and their needs and what they like and things like that. And that was so incredible to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And like even these two little sisters that I adore beyond, I adore them all. And they came rolling up one day to fitness on their brand new bikes after Christmas, and just they wanted a bike with the cute little ribbons, and just like to see those things come to fruition is just like they want to make sure that they keep that hope alive within them.
Yeah.
So it is unbelievable.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, Elia, we know that you went there, did a little boxing demo. Tell us about that experience. Like, were there any kids that stood out that really brightened up your day and brightened
First
up
of all, I was a little intimidated by a couple of them. They was trying to take me out, and I felt like they really could. Man, it was cool because people don't realize the impact that boxing has on people as a whole. Nonetheless, kids, man, the confidence it brings, just a different mindset. I feel like once you teach them that they can do boxing, they truly feel like they can do anything, So to go out there, first of all, everybody was super open to everything. Like even adults, sometimes you got some eye rollers and stuff like that. I didn't have any of that in that class. Everybody was just like eager. They wanted to be there, and they didn't have to be there. Nobody had to be there. They chose to be there that day. So for me, it was like an honor. Like, oh man, they really want to spend this time out here with us, So me and Susie broke them up into two groups. We had the southpaw and the conventional, but everybody was doing the same stuff, and they killed it, dude. They did so well, and I was just like, I was genuinely impressed by the way they were picking it up, because I was like, this doesn't make sense. Like, how are they like so fast with this, and they've never done boxing before? A couple of them, like, we're in the race, they'd come up to me and they'd be like, hey, look, I could do this. Hey, look this, or what do you think about this? And just asking questions, being so involved. And dude, that meant the world. Like, they made me want to go back. I already wanted to go back, but it was one of those things where I was like, man, I need to make more time for them. I need to go back out there because it's something that I could tell several of them were interested in. And you never know what you're unlocking. You just don't know what you're unlocking. Like, and it's like the most important thing that we all have, and it's the hardest thing to come by, is time. You can pay away this, you can pay away that. There's just so much stuff that we can give as human beings, but the most valuable thing we can give is our time, because we can't ever get that back. You can't ever get that back. So to me, it's like I'm so intentional about every last second of my day, and I understand that I have to follow God's plan. So for us to be doing this here today, and even us linking up, like when I met them, the day I met them, man, God was like, they're special to you. They're special to you in your calling. They're special to you in your purpose. And I was like, that's cool because he's never been wrong about that. Every time I meet somebody and God says that to me, they end up being this important to me in my life and my purpose, you know? So us being able to feed off of each other and just grow our group and our village to what it's becoming. It's like, because it is a community and we need that village to grow this together, to do this together. His house has been around for how long? But look at the impact that they're making, that we're making as a group. It's like, they didn't need us, right? They've been this whole time without us, but now we're doing this together, and look at the waves that we're making, man. So that we could get right down into that gym, I guess, that we're talking about. I'm so excited about that.
And got a lot of fitness people up here today, you know. So
no, I'm looking at him. I'm like, like let me just. I'm strong too, cause I ain't with a tank top, bro.
I'm the skinniest one up here. So.
You got hands though. You got hands though.
So we're coming together, painting with a purpose. And we're raising funds to build a gym. So tell us about that. What's the gym going to entail? What are the details on it? What are the goals that we need?
So if you're a local, if you go to the beach, everyone should know that little Muscle Beach, right? And you see
that's come a long way too.
That's come a long way too. So I'm not sure when that concept started, but building out a gym out of container ships, you know, Port of Miami, where we ship stuff, products that, so we take those ships, those containers, and we build a gym out of it. So that's the ideal, and Jay has a rendering, but it's gonna have everything that they need. So yes, we go there at least 2 to 3 times a week and we work them out, but it's just only an hour out of the day. So imagine if they're feeling frustrated, they woke up, they were bullied at school, whatever, being able to just go out to the gym right there, let it out, box, treadmill, lift, whatever it is. So essentially, we're...
Yeah, I don't realize how much boxing I'm putting in that place.
That's all good.
They're like, to be fully equipped. I was like, oh, it's going to be fully equipped.
We told you we love boxing.
Well, can I piggyback on that? Because I'll never forget one day I came in and I brought in some balls to slam, like ball slam balls. And there was a kid there, and I was just like, okay, this is the ball slam station. I taught how to perform and doing it. And when I tell you, like, the kids went around that station because this kid just kept slamming the ball. And I was like, time to switch stations. I was like, okay.
You was fighting demons.
I was like, you need a little more time at this station.
You can not fighting the ball.
That's it. And I'll never forget because one of the other kids was like, yeah, I think somebody was picking on him or something like that. Or like he had gotten into like, kind of gotten beat up or something like that. I don't remember, but I was just like, he was letting it out. And I was like, you know what, this is actually something that he's found a positive way to let that out through fitness. And that this is so important. This is great for them to be able to have a space that if we're not there at that time, then they can just
and it's not just one, it's two. The project is for 2 of those containers. They're big, they're long, they're going to be fully equipped. Like, this isn't a small project. It's not a small task. Like, it's a big goal. The reason that we're doing 30,000, right? It's because it's 2 fully equipped shipping containers that's going to be decked out. It's not going to look like your average containers. Like, we're going to make this another home for them, you know? So that's why the goal is so big. It's going to
have a generational impact. Look, you can say I impacted my community for generations to come. So we know all of us talk about legacy, this and that, but let's be honest, a lot of us, when we're long gone, you know, we're probably going to be forgetting, but you're going to know that this is going to be here forever, and I was part of it. So, like I said, that's powerful in itself, you know. So.
And, you know, a word of encouragement is that a donor came through already with $15,000,
which is why our new goal was 15.
Yes.
Amen. Listen, that matters.
So everything helps. Like everything helps. And to be able to match that and say, okay, 15,000. Now they have a fully loaded place for themselves.
And this is how we, I mean, in essence, change our future, right? This is how we combat
the direct impact.
Combat what we're going through right now with the youth, of self-esteem, of, you know, social media effect, bullying, not knowing who they are, or comparison. So this is how we combat that. You know, I used to say that we haven't felt the true effect of 2020 and all of that. Like we see it a lot more, but I would have hated to be in high school.
How much did suicide?
Yeah, like imagine that's in your senior year in high school. I had my nephews.
Your walk.
Their senior year, it wasn't.
I was graduating law enforcement and I didn't get to walk that. Like, you know, like that sucked. You know, that was a moment stripped from my life that I should have walked across the stage, had my whole family there, and instead it was like, here's a pin, good job.
But imagine that happening at
Yeah,
17.
but thankfully God got me.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But imagine that happening at 17 or 16. That's such a crucial part of
Yeah, man. That's
development, finding out who you are as a person, right? Because we it takes a while to know, okay, this is who I am. You know what I mean? Because
still figuring it out.
we still grow. We never stop growing. But in that sense, this is going to be impactful for generations to come.
Yeah, man. I'm so excited.
And actually, you said something that I thought was great on your Instagram feed. You were painting, and you were talking about like how it is like therapeutic.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe we could bring some art therapy.
Definitely.
Oh,
my
for sure,
goodness.
man.
They would
Yeah,
love
yeah.
that.
They would
They would-
eat this up.
Yeah.
Even just us
And
doing
this is
like
all- yeah.
painting with them,
Yes.
they would love it. Like,
Yeah.
obviously they would probably love it more in the boxing part.
Yeah.
But be like, yeah, I don't want to sweat.
But all those elements help. You know, they even have a music program. So art, music, fitness is all
Yeah,
the things
Have
that.
seen much
Definitely,
art?
definitely.
Yes, I could be wrong.
But no, I'm pretty sure that would be something really new.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Y'all heard it first. Here it is. No, but it's just it's beautiful because it's like, and a lot of this week for me, my relationship with God and my talks with God, you know, it has just been like, we live in a very greedy society, a very greedy society, and a lot of people are blessed wherever that blessing comes from.
Yeah.
It doesn't always come from our guy,
Yeah.
Right.
but wherever it is they get money from and all this stuff, and it's like people are just like, oh, mine, this is my money,
Yeah.
and like they don't give a single cent out, and it's like, listen, it's your money. It's not that you can't do what you want with it,
Yeah.
but how do you put your money to purpose?
Mhm.
Yes.
You know, like you're gonna die and that's gonna all be in your account. Like what's
For
the
sure.
point?
Yeah.
You know? So
Yeah.
I think that like a lot of my mentality lately has been just trying to make the people that do have the money understand that your purpose is bigger than
Yeah.
the money.
Yeah.
You know, like now you have all that,
Yeah.
but you remember when you didn't?
Yeah.
How did that feel?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so give back, and it doesn't have to be at a crazy extent, man. People don't realize like the raffle that we doing.
Yeah.
$5.
Yeah.
Bro, but
That's
$5
all.
adds up. It
That's
adds
all.
adds up.
It's more
you know?
of a mentality and the spirit of wanting to impact and do good. Because I'm not sure what the stats are. I might just be throwing out there, but the people who do give generally are the people who are regular 9-to-5ers. So
Yeah,
have a regular
man.
job. They don't make
The most generous people I know don't make bread like that.
exactly.
That's the most beautiful thing that I've seen. That is crazy because it's like the people I know that have money are actually not that generous. But the people I know that live paycheck to paycheck
Yeah.
are the ones giving the offerings, are the ones
Yeah.
planting the seeds.
Yeah,
They're the
for
ones
sure.
giving back. And
Yeah.
I'm like, it just goes to show a lot of, you know, just where your heart is at,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
so my challenge to everybody out
Yeah.
there is
I
just
love that.
open your heart.
For sure.
Yeah.
Let God put something in your heart for you to
Mm.
understand,
That's good.
like, I'm here for more
Yeah.
than just making this bread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now what I'm gonna do with it?
That's it.
You
That's
know?
the most important part.
Yeah,
Bread is important.
100%.
Bread is important. Money is definitely
Right.
important. But
Yeah.
what you do with it and how your relationship with it, you know, I think that takes some time.
You
to
have to
understand.
run that money.
Yeah.
It can't run you.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's
It
good.
can't run
And I
you.
think
So good.
I love the beauty of this because we're talking about art, we're talking about boxing, we're talking about, you know, fitness outlets, and it's that the word says that. It says that we all have different gifts and attributes and how
Yeah.
it's all connected to bring about like a beautiful story.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's not, you know, about me, about him, about you. It's literally about like, how can I utilize the gifts that I have to make those around me see God
Yeah.
or know they are loved or created
Yeah.
on purpose.
Or just showing that we care. Just
Yeah.
showing the, like thing like you said, just giving that positive, you know, input into them. Just being a positive outlet for them. Like a lot of them don't see that, and like you said, you never know the impact you're gonna make
Yeah.
to a future champ, to a future NFL star, to a future
Yeah.
anything. It starts with that person.
Like I love y'all
Yeah.
shirts, like the shirts, the finisher shirts for and the medals and stuff.
Yeah.
It's super cool because it's like y'all put a verse on the back, and
Yes.
it's like, man, I think that we're just in an age where we got to put it in people's faces.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
we as being part of the kingdom can
Yeah.
no longer be quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to boast
Yeah.
about our
Yeah.
God. We have
Yeah.
to because
Yeah.
it's what helps other people just even that spark that curiosity.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, maybe
Yeah.
they weren't, and then they read that and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, "What's that about?"
Yeah,
You know,
for
and
sure,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
if people don't see us and see something godly,
Yeah.
then we're
Yeah.
not doing our jobs.
True.
You know, we should make them question their
Yeah.
beliefs. We should
For
make
sure.
them question
Yeah.
like, man, who does she serve that she's like that? Who does he serve that he moves like that?
Yeah.
You know, and it's very powerful. So I love those shirts. Everybody's getting medals and shirts
and
for our
shirts.
5K race, which we'll get into in a second. Now I just
Yes.
realized I jumped ahead of that. Like they know what the 5K is. We got to get into that part too.
Can I share more about the shirt and the significance
For sure,
behind it?
definitely, please.
So the actual shirt it's written in blue, the verse Jeremiah 29:11, and it talks about for I know the plans that I have for you, plans to not harm you, plans to prosper you and give you a good future, and that is God literally speaking to all of us.
Yeah.
And so no matter what their circumstances, for them to actually see like, all right, my future could be, God's got me. Their plans to give a good future. So that's why that verse is with that. And then the color blue is the color for child abuse.
Mm.
So I wanted it to be kind of personal to where, a lot of these kids come from. And then the silhouette is actually a photo of Ron, myself, Maddox, and one of the cute little His House kids.
Wow.
And so we put it in a silhouette, of course, obviously to protect the child, but also that we can, whoever has that shirt can picture themselves right there, because we're all playing a part in these kids.
Yeah.
We all got our arm around these kids by registering, by donating, by just being present, by sharing a post, all of it. We're putting our arms and saying, okay, maybe, this is my part.
Right. So, and just to piggyback off of that a little bit, just because we talked about painting with a purpose today and the paintings and stuff like that. But now segue into the 5K that we're doing in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks, January 25th.
25th.
I know the date. I'm like, but where are we today? So yeah, January 25th.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about that race.
So it's an event to get the community together for a cause bigger than ourselves. And every time we do something like this, we've done obviously for our son who's on the spectrum. So we've done races for the spectrum. And it's a day that's, I don't know how to explain it. You were there.
It's a beautiful day,
It's
man.
a beautiful day, and
That's where I got to first meet them in person.
Yeah. I just think the world just could use empathy, love, unconditionally.
Amen.
So it's an event that's going to be the main component of it.
And you can run or walk.
Run, walk,
It's
whatever.
just a 5K. You can walk, crawl.
Yeah.
I might just roll through it. I'm bringing my skates. I'm bringing my skates that day.
But if you're a true runner, you can go for your PR. You can do that too. At the end of the day, it's for a great cause.
So Maria last year did like PR that day.
Oh,
I was like, girl, get out, man.
For
Just
sure.
run all the way home. Show off.
For sure.
Like,
For sure.
I got 5 minutes. Get out, bro. She's wild.
Yeah.
I love it.
She's like one of the first people I handed them out to. I was like, wow, that's fast.
Nah,
Okay,
yeah, people are flying. Yeah.
It's like,
So in essence, I think the gentleman approached you, knowing from our race of how this came about. So you can speak on that a little more as far as what he saw in us and what you told me, the comment he made about us, that us raising a child on the spectrum, this and that. He's just impressed that we would think of outside of our own home. As far as just not just our. Then there's the gentleman, the man.
Speaking of Maddox.
Speaking of Maddox.
It's called Maddox's 5K, by the
Yes.
way. So this is Maddox. He's the real boss behind it all.
Maddox.
Awesome.
Can you tell them to sign up for the 5K?
Sign up for the 5K.
Yeah.
You heard it.
So he saw what we did for the autism community, and he approached you.
So with the His House community, long story short, the donor had come through with $15,000 for the gym space, and we were kind of called in for like a brainstorming session, like what possible ways can we fundraise? And he was like, we thought of you guys immediately because of what happened with the autism. Within 3 years, praise God, the community, we were able to raise $60,000 for Super School, and unbelievable. So we were grateful for that. They were like, we were thinking perhaps maybe we can get creative and think of a way to do that for His House. And it's so funny that Maddox, the one who just left, he said, my brother has a 5K. I want a 5K. And then,
All right, you got this.
so we were like, wait a minute. And he goes and he plays with, like, he'll go play with the kids. Like, they treat him like a little bro.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. And so he was like, I would love to get a gym for my friends at his house.
Oh, so
Yeah.
cool.
So then he was like, this could be my 5K. And so that's how this came
Solid.
to life. Yeah.
Solid. I love it.
Yeah.
So you want to first register or?
Yeah, you could register through the links on all of our bios. QR codes, which I actually learned from you. Like how that QR code. I was like, Google, how do you make a QR code? But yeah, so you can register via there to donate if you unfortunately can't make it. But either way, you donate, it goes to the cause.
And then vendors and businesses too.
Yes.
Guys,
Everybody.
this place gets packed. Like, it's a huge event. We have so many people that come out to these 5Ks. Like we said, we've already done it for the autism run.
Yeah.
And that was crazy successful. I mean, it was packed. So if you have a business, local business, if you're a tax guy, this is for my tax guy. If you're a tax guy, come out, put a little booth, get to know people, give out your business card. You know, you'll never know who you're gonna meet. The vendor tables are mad cheap. Listen, I've been doing this for a long time. I know what they charge vendors out there.
Yeah.
All we're doing is $50 registration for that. And then you get to put yourself on that platform, and then that $50 obviously is going directly towards the cause as well.
Yeah.
My businesses will be out there. My business partners are all going to be out there as well. So just get involved, man. There's so many different ways to get involved.
Yeah, very true.
I love it. It's a lot of ambition right here.
Yeah.
You know, we're coming together to help ambitious children. You know, and one thing that I do want to say, because you brought up the point of, you know, the people with the less always donate the most, but a lot of the people with the most came from the least. So, and that's a big story in boxing as well. People who come from nothing make something of themselves.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a beautiful project. His house. Where can people find all the information to go ahead, donate, get to the 5K, the whole nine?
Absolutely.
I would take Maddox page, right?
Yeah. Our IG page is Maddox, MADDOX, 4, the number 4, his house, HISHOUSE.
That New York came out.
Maddox for his house 5K.
Yeah.
You go right there. The link on the bio is there to donate. That goes directly to his house. And then the registration, that will come directly to us so we can have you fill out your waiver. And then we put that right on the donation page to his house as well.
And that every registration will be coming with a medal, a finisher medal, and the finisher shirts we were talking about, which is really big because, guys, all that costs money as well. So it does cost money to host this event. So even more reason where it's like we're trying to raise funds, but then we also have to cover those costs.
Yeah.
So please just bring a friend, even if you've never done a 5K before. I think this is the perfect time to do your first 5K.
Yeah.
You're going to get your medal, you're going to get your shirt, and there's no pressure because you're not, you know, people are out there fully competing like you would in a normal 5K.
Yeah.
So you can kind of take your time and just kind of feel it out. I know a lot of people have done 5Ks.
Yeah.
It's funny because that was with you guys. That was my first official 5K.
No,
Yeah, man. I'm an athlete, but like I just, for whatever reasons, just never did one. And obviously with y'all cause, I was like, I have to get out there and I have to do that, you know. So I went out there and I was like, get my first 5K, you know. I didn't PR, but whatever. I finished, okay? That's what matters.
Not for sure.
Took my best friend out there, saw Maria, you know. And,
Yeah.
man, it was an awesome experience.
For sure.
What a joyful
No, you're right. A lot of people said that was their first 5K, and I think it's just the community of support, knowing that you're gonna come in. It's a non-judgmental community. It's a community of love, empathy, and encouragement. And I think we leave that out, knowing that it's gonna permeate through us, through everyone, the event, and it's always an unforgettable day that people always talk about. And to be honest, we're all so busy, left and right. Sometimes it's an excuse to get together.
Yeah,
Look forward to it. Let's get together. And so it's going to be a great day and a great cause.
Yeah, I got my family coming out there. I got plenty of friends coming out and stuff. So
Yeah.
we just urge you guys to, again, I like the way you put that. Even if it's not just about the 5K, man, just get your friends you haven't seen in a bit. Get some
Yeah,
family you haven't seen in a bit. And
Bring
just
blankets,
come out for a
chairs.
good cause.
There's
Yeah.
a place to actually do
Listen,
that.
y'all can sign up. Y'all ain't got to walk, man. Y'all can
Yeah.
just watch us do it. Just donate, show up, show out. That's it. It's all good.
Yeah.
We'll catch you right before the sunrise, right around what time?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
now the sunrise is in January. Before
Yeah.
Yeah.
4-7 or?
before we run.
All right, okay.
So what time?
Okay.
What
7,
time was it?
Arrival 6:45, just so you can make sure
Register.
that you are filled out your waiver, all that good stuff. And then at like 7:15, we make sure you get your shirt. We send you off after a few announcements. That's it.
Awesome. And of course, we talk about the 5K. We gotta talk about the gym, level up.
Yes.
Earlier, What do y'all got going on? When's the next fight? We can see you.
Yo.
Oh man. Well, as far as the gym, man, we've made so many improvements this last year. So 2025, I'm excited for people to really just come in here and see how different it is. I've had people come in recently that hadn't been in a while, and they're just like, bro, it's like a whole different place in here, you know. So we're excited. We're just keep pushing God's word in here, because at the end of the day, we're in the business of changing lives, and that's our home. This is our home. This is what we do, you know, day in and day out. Our guys, like, all we care about is just making people feel included, you know, making them know that this is a safe place.
Yeah.
I think a lot of boxing gyms you come into are really rough. And then it just gives boxing a bad stigma because you just went into the wrong gym, or maybe you went into a fight gym and you ain't mean to go to a fight gym, and that's what you think that now that's what you think all boxing gyms are. Or I've seen the reverse of that. They go to these cookie cutter gyms and they're like, ew, like that's not really boxing. Like y'all just slapping his bag. So because all of our coaches are all actual fighters, you're gonna learn the real technique. And I always say, you don't get punched in the face unless you want to. That's a whole different story. We got classes for that too. You know, we have member sparring that we added, so we just keep growing. We keep adding classes. Recently, we added one of our coaches, Armin, where she's doing strength and conditioning, which is super fun because it's something I always wanted to do. But again, you got to phase into that. You know, like everything's a growing pain. So now we have strength and conditioning Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 5:30. So it's just keep it growing and expanding. So. Leave it, baby, leave it. This is what happens when you have kids. It's all good, though. But yeah, so we're just continuously growing. For me as a fighter, we're doing our best to secure these world title fights pretty much by the end of March at the latest. I keep saying it's going to be this first quarter. It has to be this first quarter. I demand to be this first quarter. I'm already number 2. Like, there's nowhere else to go. Like, shoot me for the titles. So I'm excited about that as a fighter. But this year is just... my goal for this year is for us to give back more than we ever have, and we've already given so much that I'm just excited to top us. You know, I want to see what God does through us. I want to see just how involved He continues to let us be into our community. You know, so that's what it is. You know, we finally launching that nonprofit, which I'm still figuring all that stuff out. Like I have no idea about it. I'm learning it as I go. Anybody want to help a girl out? Feel free to. But I did finally get it all done. I have the non-exempt tax free stuff, which is what these big guys with all the money want. You know, that's all they ever say. So what's up? We have it now. You know? So the goal is to really be able to do more things like going to his house and things like that, where I don't care to volunteer my time, but I also don't always expect that from the people around me. You know, I understand that everybody should be paid and things like that, so I get it. You know, so that's my goal with the nonprofit, is so that we can do stuff for free for the community, but that the trainer and the people involved can actually get a couple bucks to make up for that time. You know, at the end of the day, I don't take anybody's time for granted. So anybody that gives us 2, 3, 4 hours of their time, my job, I feel like my job is to make sure that they get taken care of, because as a whole, we're taking care of the community, but then who takes care of the guys, you know, and the people involved. So that's my biggest thing with a nonprofit. Being able to sponsor gloves, so that when we go out to his house, we have, you know, 30 pairs of gloves that we take just for the kids and their sizes and things like that, where we can use that for the event. So that's what we're doing this year, man. Again, getting more and more involved. Obviously, we're gonna be doing a bunch of stuff with his house. I'll be out there when he decides to go out there and help, you know. So I'm excited for that. I love that you brought that up, and
in the building.
I don't think that right. I don't think that you get enough credit I don't think we've given you enough credit for this event today, just because where it's hard enough to get people to register for stuff, you're donating your time as an artist. That means like 2 decades of your knowledge, your talent, your work, and it's like I don't for a second take that for granted. So I love you, bro. I appreciate you so much. This painting today, this was all Dorby's idea, and it's gonna be the first of a lot of stuff that we're gonna be doing together. So I'm just glad to see you get more involved with us, man. I love it. I love having you back fully loaded.
I appreciate it a lot. I always say energy is the best currency.
Let's go.
Anytime I can give my energy to create something that comes together, we're gonna get happy. I'm gonna say those kids at his house are gonna be spoiled.
Yeah, they're gonna get the best of all the worlds.
Oh, man, world class athlete. You got 2 beautiful people who have a lot of love to give, really care about the community, really are creating that personal connection. I love it. I think that it's going to be very prosperous, and there's going to be fulfillment all the way around, especially for the community and the next generations to come.
I love that.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Thank everybody out there. You hear the calls, you hear what we're trying to do over here. So help us make it work and help us make it happen.
Yes.
You know, we're here at Level Up today, but tomorrow we could be worldwide as long as we all come together and unify.
Let's
Thank
go.
you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Hey, you guys, if you
Thank
guys
you,
feel
thank
it in
you.
your hearts, man, if anybody saw this today, and even if it's just one person that decides, man, I really feel compelled and led to donate, please feel free to reach out. Like we said, Maddox for his house 5K. We'll get you squared away when it comes to how to donate and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But again, every single penny counts, whether it's 5, 10, 100, 100,000, 10,000. Like, it doesn't matter. Everybody's situations are different. So we're grateful for absolutely any help. So please feel free to reach out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.